right now on 5 on your side at 10.
While not a completely dry week ahead, we are looking at limited rain in the rain gauge. Why this pesky pattern is so slow to leave.
Containing a deadly outbreak at the St. Louis County Animal Shelter.
It is catastrophic.
Tonight, the delay in reopening that shelter. Plus, new information on a day trip to Missouri wine country that turned into a trip to the hospital for dozens. First tonight, St. Louis Blues fans packing into Ballpark Village for tonight's Whirlwind Game 7 in Winnipeg. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush. Right now, the Blues are in the middle of a back-and-forth elimination game against the Winnipeg Jets in the Stanley Cup playoffs, tied 3-3 in double overtime. We have team coverage tonight. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski is in the middle of that packed house with fans. But first, let's get right over to sports director Frank Cusimano, who is breaking down this overtime thriller.
Mike, the best thing in sports is a Game 7. Now, the only thing better than a Game 7 is a game that goes to double overtime. And the only thing worse than death is losing a Game 7 in double overtime. Let's go to Winnipeg. Just about a minute in, Colton Parayko elects to pass the puck instead of shoot it. Jordan Kyrou with the one-handed goal. And Coach Arneal was really ticked off, and the fans were already crying. Still in the first, Kyle Connor just hands the puck to Matthew Joseph, who beats Connor Hellebuck. And the Blues are up 2-0. Second period, 2-1 Blues, and the WTF line delivers. Nathan Walker, Reddick Foxer with the goal, and the Blues led it 3-1. Now, dying moments regulation. Perfetti was perfection, a game-tying goal. So we go to overtime, tied at 3. And in overtime, there were some great saves by Jordan Binnington, who's up to 40 as we speak. We will delve into this game on Sports Plus with former NHL goalie and analyst Mike McKenna. Plus, we'll talk football with Eli Drinkwitz and tell you about the best day of the year for the Cardinals. Mike.
Frank, thanks. Well, tonight the hometown fans showed up for the home team. We're talking dozens of people packing into Ballpark Village to watch Game 7 and cheer on the note. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski is in the middle of all the action right now, hearing from fans. Laura.
Mike, fans are really stressed out right now, as I think we all are. They've packed this entire place here at Ballpark Village. There is not one seat available in this house, and they have been up and down all night. They've had the Blues organist here as well, keeping fans going, and their eyes are glued to the screens. There's probably hundreds of people here on all levels of Ballpark Village. Every single goal has gotten people going, and every single approach to the goal has also gotten people going. And each little movement has really excited fans, and they're all very hopeful tonight as we hope for a win here in this Game 7, cheering constantly. For now, I don't really have any more updates for you, so I'll send it right back to you, Mike.
All right, we'll keep you updated as the game goes on. You're taking a live look now over downtown St. Louis. We're finally drying out from our rainy start to May. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with how much dry time, which we really need, we can expect.
Yeah, we definitely need some dry time, and we need to extend that as long as we can. Here's the thing. There are still a few spritzes and sprinkles around tonight, but any substantial rain is going to elude us tonight and really into tomorrow. I think the focus tomorrow will once again be to the east of us, but we've had a similar scenario playing out this evening that I think is going to play out again tomorrow. You have the low clouds, you have this big upper level system off to the east, and wrapping around it, you have these spritzes and sprinkles, and there's a few more of them kind of backing into the metro area right now. So tomorrow morning, getting out the door, rush hour tomorrow morning, you're right around 48, 50 degrees, a fair amount of clouds, maybe a little bit of sunshine, especially west and southwest of St. Louis. But as we look at the week ahead, there's a few more light showers on the way for midweek. The important part of that is light showers. We're not expecting thunder. We're not expecting a lot of rainfall, and that's going to be Wednesday into Thursday. After that, going into next weekend, it looks like we should be dry with a warming trend on the way. For the work week, though, it looks like the pick day and the warmest day will be Tuesday. More on that in this pesky pattern in a few minutes, Mike.
All right, Scott, thanks. Developing tonight, police investigating after finding a woman dead in South St. Louis City. Officers say they found the victim just before 2:30 today near South Grand and Gasconade. That's in the Dutchtown neighborhood. Investigators have not released any other information, including how the woman died. We're working to get you more information. Tonight, we're learning a St. Louis firefighter was killed in a crash in the Ville neighborhood. This happened around 11:30 last night at the intersection of MLK and Whittier. Police say the collision happened when the firefighter tried passing another car while driving his Jeep. The other driver involved ran off and left his car at the scene. He turned himself in to police this morning. Just hours ago, we got new information about a crash that injured dozens of people near Herman. The Herman Trolley Company confirms to 5 on your side it was one of its trolleys that struck a ditch and crashed along Missouri Route 100. The Missouri State Highway Patrol released an image today of the crash. 32 people were taken to area hospitals with minor to serious injuries. That crash remains under investigation. Tonight, the St. Louis County Animal Shelter remains closed because of an outbreak of parvovirus. It was supposed to reopen today. More than a dozen dogs have been euthanized. 5 on your side's Andy Crowell shows us what's being done to protect other animals.
This is the worst outbreak of parvovirus that we've had in the history of St. Louis County. It is catastrophic.
That's the reality after multiple cases of parvovirus were first detected in April. The St. Louis County Animal Care and Control Adoption Center will stay closed at least for the next few days after initially hoping to open on Sunday.
We have to move quickly to try and contain it. Our folks are really scrambling to create a hospital-like scenario in a place that's never had a hospital.
On Friday, officials said 19 dogs had to be euthanized to help stop the spread of the highly contagious gastrointestinal virus. As of Sunday, though, the county says no new cases have been detected in the remaining 185 dogs.
We do have access to testing. We will continue to test and retest as needed and make sure we keep, appropriate supplies on stock as well.
Deputy Director of Public Health for the county, Landris Burris, said it's unclear where the original parvo case came from, but it can be especially deadly in puppies.
We tend to kind of keep a close eye on our puppies when they come in to ensure that they're up to date on their shots, and then just ensuring that we keep an eye on any animal that we bring in the shelter.
It can be a costly virus to treat depending on how many animals have it.
Aside from cost, in most cases, our job is really to just concentrate primarily on ensuring that the animals here are well taken care of.
Officials now taking a closer look at their quarantining process, like increasing available cages for separation.
It's unfortunate that this happened, but I think we learned a lot, and especially as we're trying to move forward with transparency, compassion, there's a lot that we can learn from this so that we don't make the same mistake.
Andy Crowell, 5 on your side.
Now to a live picture of Ballpark Village, where we have some bad and upsetting news for Blues fans. The Blues have just lost in double overtime to the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets just scored a game-winning goal in double overtime. Blues were 1.6 seconds away from winning this game in regulation, but the Jets scored the tying goal, and now Winnipeg has won the game. The season is over. A disappointing end to a really wonderful run by the Blues just to make the playoffs. But they lose tonight to the Winnipeg Jets. Their season is over. Frank Cusimano will have much more coming up on Sports Plus. Today, friends and family honored a young woman killed after being hit by a fire truck. The family of 18-year-old Nyla Simmons held a balloon release for her at the St. Louis Art Museum. Last weekend, Simmons was dancing on the roof of an SUV and fell onto Shoto in Midtown. She was then hit by a fire truck responding to a call. Simmons was celebrating at a friend's prom party earlier that night. So far, no one involved in the crash has been charged with a crime.
This pesky pattern makes for a near repeat performance of Sunday to start the work week. Why we still have rain chances in the forecast and when it will finally feel more like May.
Medicine meets music.
Everybody, all the families.
How one group is finding healing through harmony in the fight against childhood cancer.
We'll use it and flex it to help with whatever the need is.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
A diagnosis of childhood cancer brings fear and uncertainty to any family. In tonight's Making a Difference report, you'll meet some innovative healers who've discovered that some of the most powerful therapy comes without a prescription.
4, 2, 3, 4.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, between the charts and scans, medicine finds its rhythm in beats and melodies.
Now we need another instrument.
Something unexpected is happening in 11-year-old Genesis Sutton's treatment room.
Guitar. Whoa.
While doctors monitor her recovery, she and her siblings are becoming composers.
Just drag what you like into the square.
Music therapist Allison Cole carries no prescription pad, just an iPad. And the conviction that sometimes healing travels through headphones better than IV lines.
It can help to, keep their mind off of their pain until their meds take effect.
This creative outlet, making music and doing things that are fun and engaging, just kind of helps with their overall spirit.
1, 2, clap with me.
For Jamie Hayes, Jen's mom, these sessions provide a rather rare respite from a difficult journey. It began during the holidays in 2020. Pain in a place where growing children often hurt. But something about this was different.
Like it was just my leg.
And so it hurts, and so you knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
What started as a whisper of discomfort became a diagnosis no parent is ever prepared to hear.
They took me in a room across the hallway and was like, your daughter has cancer. It's just something you never think you would hear. So it took me a while to process it.
The exact diagnosis? Acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
All the families.
When medicine choreographs every step of a young life, Kids Rock Cancer offers children a chance to pick up the conductor's baton. For 16 years, this Maryville University program has transformed treatment rooms into recording studios.
I love you, ooh.
I love you.
Try it again.
Where the only side effects are smiles and moments of creative freedom.
It's a chance for them to have autonomy. They make all the choices. Oh, yeah.
Back at the hospital, Genesis and her siblings composed a song that may not win a Grammy, but creates something far more valuable. A moment where cancer takes a back seat to creativity. In hospital corridors where childhood is often drowned out by beeping monitors, these musical moments create a soundtrack of joy that outlasts the treatment itself.
It's very impactful because it's just like a relief. Like you're not the only one trying to keep a smile, on everybody's face. Like I am very thankful for them.
Can I get a high five from everybody? High five.
Because long after the chemotherapy ends, the melodies remain. Personal anthems of courage, composed in the key of hope.
And here's the best news. Genesis leukemia is now in remission. If you'd like to help the family with medical expenses, we can link you to their GoFundMe when you go to this story on KSDK.com. And a reminder, if you know someone making a difference for others, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com. A powerful display of community unfolded in Forest Park today as hundreds gathered for the annual MDA Muscle Walk. Despite cloudy weather, chilly temperatures, as MC, I can tell you, it was an emotional and spirited day as teams and individuals walked to raise those crucial funds for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, which empowers those living with neuromuscular diseases to live life to their fullest potential.
I'm here because when Holden was 9 months old, he was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and we hope that someday with all the money the Muscular Dystrophy Association raises and for research and treatment, that there will be better treatments available for him, and I dare to say, a cure.
And a reminder that once again, 5 on Your Side will host the MDA Show of Strength Telethon. That'll be Labor Day weekend at Grants Farm. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoins us now with that weather impact forecast. And Scott, it doesn't look like we're going to see a lot of sun this week, but we will get some dry time.
We'll get some dry times. As we go into Tuesday, it looks pretty bright, and towards Friday into the weekend, it's looking pretty bright. But of course, this weekend, at this time last week, looked really bright too. You see what happened. We don't see that happening as we go into Mother's Day weekend though. How about your rain over the last 24 hours? There were some amounts here with 1 to 2 inches pretty fairly common here east of St. Louis, and some spots with over 2 inches of rainfall. That was a little more localized, but most of that occurred during yesterday, Saturday, and it just kept coming. Temperatures never getting out of the 50s yesterday, so we made some progress today. We were back into the low 60s, and overall, rain chances are lower for the entire week. Now, it's not to say it's dry the entire week. There will be the opportunity, but most of us are going to get very little rain. It's a chilly start to the work week, too. We do have a spot shower still possible tomorrow. Temperatures will stay in the lower 60s, much like what we saw today, where most of the rain is east of St. Louis, and your brighter skies tend to be a little farther west and southwest. The scattered showers, well, they're possible Wednesday and Thursday, especially south and southwest of St. Louis. But temperatures are going to get a little bit warmer here as we head towards the weekend, and rainfall amounts exceedingly light over the next several days. We are not expecting much. Just some spritzes and sprinkles trying to drift through the metro area right now. That's it. That's on the backside of this upper level system. Problem is the upper level system has been persistent. That rolled in on Friday, stuck with us yesterday. It's been with us today, tomorrow. It nudges just slightly farther east, and that'll open the door to what's out west. This is an omega block, kind of makes the omega, the Greek letter omega. And so, you know, we've got one going away, the other part of it sliding in for Wednesday and Thursday with that chance for a few showers. Tuesday looks good, and by Friday we're starting to see all of this slide away. And so Friday into the upcoming weekend looks pretty quiet. Now, we're not overly concerned about rain chances here on Wednesday into Thursday. Yes, it's about a 30 to 40, 50% chance of rain with the higher numbers as you go southwest of St. Louis. But the amounts are light, and not everybody is going to get rain. And we don't need it. We could stand several dry days in a row. 55 right now. 63 was our high. It was chilly this morning, down to 47 degrees. Where there are more breaks in the clouds, mid-40s to the southwest of St. Louis, closer to 50 in the metro area. Tomorrow, again, much like today, low 60s for highs. We had a little bit warmer with some sunshine on Tuesday, up to 74. Around 70 as we go into Wednesday. That's when we have that chance of a shower. Thursday, maybe a shower. No severe weather for the next 7 days.
A cultural celebration. How the Missouri Botanical Garden took locals on a trip around the world without having to leave St. Louis.
It's time to go on the move. I'm Paul Cook, your traffic guy from Today in St. Louis. 141 at I-6440 in Chesterfield. You may have sat in a delay there that impacted your mood or your arrival time at some point. Well, be advised, significant road construction is getting underway. That's sure to cause some headaches near that I-6440 and Route 141 interchange. The prep work for this happened last week. Now there's going to be work happening around the clock. Expect lane reductions on northbound and southbound Route 141 immediately. Additionally, drivers will see daytime lane closures north of I-64 and nighttime ramp and lane closures south of the interstate. MoDOT tells us the goal of this is to get rid of the congestion by making that westbound outer road ramp to southbound 141 wider. It can be problematic right now. They'll be adding a dedicated right turn lane from eastbound I-64 and widening that Route 141 between the ramp and the Woods Mill roundabout exit. Look for safety improvements and resurfacing from St. Luke's to the interstate. This project will continue through the end of the year, so drivers should give themselves some extra time. Be safe and kind. Paul Cook, 5 on your side.
This weekend, visitors of the Missouri Botanical Garden immerse themselves in the rich history and culture of our city's Chinese American community. Chinese Culture Days wrapped up its two-day festival today. That tradition dates back nearly 30 years. Our Mercedes McKay shows us what keeps visitors coming back for more.
This festival is where we bring the best that our community has to offer.
Since 1996, the Missouri Botanical Garden and the Chinese Culture Education and Services Foundation has brought these sights and sounds to the bi-state.
I'll be here every year with my family. We love to come here. It's absolutely one of the treasures of St. Louis.
The partnership brings the deep heritage of St. Louis's Chinese American community to life through the annual Chinese Culture Days Festival.
Our community members feel empowered to showcase our talent, our love for tradition, and we want everyone to come here and enjoy our festival.
Through live performances, art, authentic cuisine, and a Chinese marketplace, the one-of-a-kind festival has become a tradition for St. Louis families.
I do just love to kind of absorb the different cultures from the different countries, and here I like to see the various dancers. I love to hear the music and see some of the displays.
This year, the celebration also included an acrobatic troupe performance, musicians from St. Louis's sister city, Nanjing, and a 38-foot dragon boat.
This is where a lot of our community members get to see each other. We haven't seen each other in a long time, so we come here and bring the best show and bring our best to offer for the city.
With the festival kicking off Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, organizers say their goal is to make sure everyone feels like they belong.
St. Louis City is such an inclusive and welcoming, and you cannot see a better example than what you can see here this weekend at the Botanical Garden.
In St. Louis, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
Looking ahead at the week ahead, there are a few important dates you need to keep your eye on. Tomorrow, federal student loan collections start back up, marking the end of a 5-year-long pandemic-era pause. The move could impact more than 5 million people. The Department of Education is urging borrowers to start setting up monthly repayment plans or sign up for loan rehabilitation. Officials say anyone not paying could have their wages garnished. And starting Wednesday, you'll need a real ID to fly domestically and enter government buildings. If you don't have one, you'll need to bring your passport or other approved documents. Right now, the TSA is warning people to expect delays at the airport during the transition. Bigger than baseball, how the Cardinals are helping to strike out hunger in the bi-state. The Cardinals gave fans a chance to give back to the community. The team hosted its 10th annual Home Run Against Hunger food drive at Busch Stadium today. People could donate non-perishable food or cash to the St. Louis Area Food Bank. In return, they got a voucher or 2 tickets to a Cardinals game. Donors say their drive to help goes beyond baseball.
People need help. You know, I'm a teacher at Granite City High School, and I see my kids every day, and some of them are struggling. You don't know who they are, but we just wanted to reach out and try to help whenever we can.
The drive ended this afternoon. However, donations are still being accepted on the food bank's website. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. And now here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.